Well, hello, my name is Jim Royal. I'm a huge Beatles and Elvis Presley fan and basically classic rock in general. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Do a thumbs up, that's always most appreciated. Go ahead and smash that bell. It'll let you know when new videos pop up on my channel. And I always do my best to try to read the comments, and I appreciate them. Thank you very much for watching today. Today I wanted to talk about a brand new Beatle Super Deluxe box set that's going to be coming out on October 2nd, 2026. It is going to be for this album, a Rubber Soul that was originally released December of 1965 and produced by George Martin. His son Giles Martin is going to be doing the remix of it, and it's going to be a really good idea because what's going to happen is with these earlier Beatle albums, the music was panned, either the vocals were either into the left or to the right, and then we might have had drums somewhere and bass and then guitars on the other side. So it was very much kind of like karaoke if you wanted to turn down one channel. So now we're going to have a nice proper mix in stereo, and I really like that idea. I think it's a great idea. There's going to be many different versions popping up on this. You can get the Super Deluxe, which is going to be a 5 LP set or a 4 CD set. There's going to be a 2-disc set for the CD if you want that. You're going to get the remix on one, and then you're going to get the rare session songs, alternate takes, composition takes on the second. I don't think you can get all of them though, but you'll get more on the box set. That's my prediction. You're going to get the standalone remix vinyl, and then there's going to be a standalone vinyl remix that's going to be a Target exclusive here in the States. It's going to be on orange vinyl, and then there's going to be a Zoetrope LP, which has the little patterns on it, so when you spin it around, that'll be very nice to look at. And I am really excited. Now, I know it's a little pricey. Okay, I know it's a little pricey. I know the vinyl is going for, I think, about $250. The CD box set is going for $150. But true Beatle fans, if you really like it, you know, maybe you'll spring, maybe you won't. So let me tell you about this album real quick, and then I'll tell you what's on it. So this is an album, in my opinion, where I thought that John Lennon really matured as a songwriter. There's some really amazing songs on here. I think this is John at his best. We've got Drive My Car, which was the song that both him, John, and Paul wrote together. You've got Norwegian Wood, which is a song about an extramarital affair that he had. And you have the introduction of the sitar on him there, an Indian instrument, which is pretty revolutionary for rock music at the time. You have Nowhere Man, which I really love. It's one of my favorites. This is one of those songs where John was having trouble sleeping, writing a song. He fell asleep, and then he woke up and he wrote down, came up with these lyrics when he just couldn't write a song anymore, and then he finally did after taking a nap. You have The Word on here, which is a nice, beautiful song. I think it's more John than Paul, but I think they both helped each other on it. Girl, oh my gosh, Girl is just amazing, isn't it? I love Girl. In My Life, I think In My Life, if there's one song, probably a top 5 of all songs that John wrote, this is one of my favorite. I love In My Life, love the meaning behind it. You've got Wait, this is one of those leftover Help soundtrack, or leftover tracks. But what they did is they turned it into a Rubber Soul song and did a great job. And then you have Run for Your Life, which is a nice song. I would say it's not top tier, but it's good. Enjoy that. Paul McCartney, I think, would probably mature on the next album as a songwriter. Revolver, songs such as Eleanor Rigby, Here, There, and Everywhere, Got to Get You Into My Life, For No One. But he does really shine on this one. Drive My Car, him and John. You've got You Won't See Me. This was a nice song that Anne Murray would later make a big hit in the 1970s. You've got The Word again. I think him and John, but more of John. Michelle is my absolute favorite on here. What a wonderful song. Love it. I'm looking through you. Here's a lover spat between him and Jane Asher, his girlfriend at the time, and turned out a really nice song on here. Wait, again, I think it's John and Paul. And then George Harrison. George continued to blossom as a songwriter with 2 songs on here. He had If I Needed Someone and also Think for Yourself. And then there's also the Ringo song that John primarily wrote called What Goes On, and I like that too. What's on here? Let's take a look at it. Disc 1 is going to be the remix from Giles Martin, the son of George Martin. I like that. So that's all 14 songs from the UK. What you're also going to get, though, is you're going to get the single that they recorded at the time, and it's Day Tripper and We Can Work It Out. You're going to get the 2023 mixes of that, which were from the Red album, the best of 62 to 66. Disc 2 is going to consist of sessions, demos, and the single. So it's going to start out with Wait, Take 3, instrumental backing track. The second song is Run for Your Life, takes 1 through 5, instrumental backing track. Norwegian Wood, This Bird Has Flown, first version, take 1. This originally appeared on the anthology 2. We're going to have it here again because it's where it belongs. Norwegian Wood, This Bird Has Flown, second version, take 2, and then take 3 for a third version. Interested in hearing those. Drive My Car, takes 1 and 2, instrumental backing track. Now, what you might be seeing is you're seeing a lot of instrumental tracks. What happened by this point is the Beatles were working on their songwriting craft. They would work on the backing instrumentation, and then they would go and record the vocal. Sometimes they'd have a guide vocal ahead of time. So that's why you're seeing so much of these instrumental tracks. But it's interesting in just hearing the evolution of the song. Day Tripper, you have songwriting work tape, which I think is pretty cool. Then you have Day Tripper Take 1, instrumental backing track. Day Tripper takes 2 and 3, instrumental backing track. If I Needed Someone, take 1, instrumental backing track. And then you have the beautiful In My Life, take 1, originally released on Anthology 4. Again, it belongs here. In My Life, you get extract with unused organ solo. I like that. I like to hear that. We Can Work It Out, Paul's demo. Now there's a story behind this. If you listen to the Lost Lennon tapes, John Lennon had his own copy of this. Unfortunately, what John did, mistakenly, is he recorded over a portion of it. So you have this beautiful acoustic guitar demo that Paul's doing at home. It sounds amazing. And then you have his gibberish on it. He was just having fun. He didn't know. Well, I think now, after all these years, we're finally going to hear Paul's copy, which has the full version. I'm looking forward to that. Then you get We Can Work It Out, take 1, instrumental backing track. Nowhere Man, first version, take 2. This was originally released on Anthology 4. Okay, that's fine. You get a little bit of vocal, but primarily instrumental. Then you get Nowhere Man, second version, take 5, instrumental backing track. And then you have I'm Looking Through You, first version, take 1. We've all heard this from the first anthology on Anthology 2. Then you get to hear, though, I'm Looking Through You, second version, take 2, and I'm Looking Through You, second version, take 3. Then we have Michelle, guitar rehearsal. That should be interesting. Maybe like I'm Only Sleeping, you know, that rehearsal that they had on Anthology. And then Michelle, take 1. This is one that dropped on YouTube a couple days ago. I got to hear that. I think it's really nice. Beautiful. Then you have What Goes On, take 1, instrumental backing track. Then you have The Word, take 1 and 2, instrumental backing track. You have Girl, take 2, instrumental backing track. You have Beatle Talk, Think for Yourself vocal overdubs. So when they were recording the Think for Yourself vocal overdubs, they were planning to do also the Christmas record. They were running out of time and material, so that's why they kept the tapes going. There's only a snippet of this that pops up that was ever used, and that was on the Yellow Submarine film. And I believe this goes on for about 15 minutes. There's a song called Little Girl. This is John's demo. This is a home demo that was more or less, I think, a home composition demo. Now, I don't know, is it run for your life? You better run for your life if you can, little girl. Hide your head in the sand, little girl. Catch you with another man, that's the end, little girl. I don't know. They say it's not. Or is it girl? I think it's its own thing. I just think that he just forgot about it. But it's amazing that we have it here. Now, I think one thing that I would really have liked here that's not is 12 Bar Original. 12 Bar Original is a really nice tune. Unfortunately, it's not here. It was an instrumental recorded that kind of sounded like Booker T, credited to all four Beatles. Take one and take two. Take one's a false start, then take two. And I think what happened, it goes on for about a little over 6-7 minutes. We have an abbreviated form of it on Anthology 2, but we should have put it here, but they didn't. And then of course you get the remix, 2023 remix of We Can Work It Out, and you get Day Tripper, which is pretty cool. All right, so then disc 3 is going to be the mono mix, the original from 1965 for George Martin. This is the UK version, so we get to hear that. And then disc 4 is going to be the Capitol Records Rubber Soul. So this is different. In the States, as you know, they did things a little differently. They packaged albums, they took things off, added songs, created entire new albums like Yesterday and Today. Here what they do is of the 14 songs, 10 of them remain. They add 2 songs that were left from the Help sessions, you know, from that album. I'll Cry Instead and It's Only Love. The other 4 are taken off and used somewhere else. That's what we have. What's also going to be cool, there's going to be a Blu-ray coming out, and I wish it would have been in the box, but it's okay. I think maybe because the price tag's a little pricey. It's $149 for the CD or about $250 for the LP box. This is probably going to be about $30-$35. What you get on this, if I'm not mistaken, you get the remix album, I think you get the mono of it, and then you get the videos for Day Tripper and We Can Work It Out, several different versions. So that's what you're getting. The folk one, they call it, they refer to the US version of Rubber Soul as the folk album in many respects. That was what was popular in the States. Capitol decided to do that. In fact, it was so inspiring that Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys was inspired to do Pet Sounds because of listening to it. I've heard some talk from people saying that on YouTube that this will probably be the last box set. I don't believe it. There's a book right here I would recommend, The Beatles Recording Sessions, Official Abbey Road Studio Session Notes, 62 to 70 by Mark Lewison. Came out in the late 80s. Highly recommend it. It clearly shows that it has, you know, what session took place, how long it was, how many takes. And I can say, for example, some of the earlier albums, like Please Please Me and With the Beatles and Hard Day's Night, sometimes they would do 5, 6, 10, 12 different takes of the same song. And in those days, what they did is they primarily did the songs live in the studio with the vocals. Then they would go and they would overdub maybe a piano track or a backing vocal. So I don't believe that. And then somebody said, oh, you know, why I'm not going to be buying, you know, this box set. Well, you know, keep your opinion to yourself. I mean, I guess you're entitled to it. I'm just not going to watch your video if it's negative. The Beatles, in my opinion, are one of the best bands, and I think many critics and people would say that they are the most influential rock group from the 1960s, if not from the 20th century. And you know, us Beatle fans, we're spoiled, aren't we? We listen to their Beatle albums, there's not a bad song on there. There's no filler. And the cover tunes, they make their own, like Please Mr. Postman, Twist and Shout, Dizzy Miss Lizzy, to name a few. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed my video, and thank you very much for watching. You take care. All right, bye.